Yeah, at the moment, just two of us.
Okay. Are you going to introduce me, or I am introducing myself?
Yeah, yes, please. The stage is yours. It's all
Okay.
yours.
No problem. Okay. Am I still waiting for people, or am I starting now because it's 8 o'clock?
I would think you should start, and then if you see people come in, you can kind of recap a bit for them to say what we're talking about, but let's carry on.
Okay. All right. Good evening. My name is Nonqemba. I am a nurse by profession. However, I am also a network marketer. For the sake of this presentation, I'm going to talk about the products that I'm marketing and the company that I am marketing for. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Vault. So before I can start there, I'm just going to highlight some few things, the overview. Firstly, I'm going to talk about the cash flow quadrant as illustrated by Robert Kiyosaki. So she mentioned 4 quadrants. The first one, which is employee, and the second one, which is self-employed, and the third one, which is business, and then the fourth one, which is an investor. So at the moment, as an employee, you can easily move from being an employee for the first quadrant to be a self-employed. And she mentioned that the very important ones is the B quadrant and the investor quadrant. So for the sake of Mining City, I'm going to be talking about, because Mining City gives you the opportunity of being an investor and as well as a business owner. So being an employer, you trade time for money. And as Jim Rohn had said, that your job can never make you rich, but it can earn you your living. However, your business can make you rich and just make your life easier. So what happens when you are an employee? You only get paid when you go to work. However, when you are not at work, you don't get paid. So you actually exchange time for money. So as a self-employed, as much as it is much like interesting to be self-employed, like for instance, doctors who've got their own surgeries, or people who own businesses, actually they mostly, like, sometimes they work more hours. They could work like 80 hours and more. However, when they are not there at work doing their businesses, maybe they take holiday. So as a doctor, you have to close the surgery, and actually you're not doing any work at that point, which means you're not earning. So this is good, like when you are even like making more money as a doctor, you could move it to be a business owner. So because as a business owner, you actually create processes that could make you money, or systems that could make you money, where even when you are there, or you can have employees that will continue working even if you're on holiday, or you're on holiday. And also as a business owner, actually you can leave that inheritance to your family. And then coming back to the E quadrant, for instance, if you are a qualified maybe teacher or nurse and you passed away, you will not leave any of your certificates for your family to use them or to continue working in your place. So is there any, I'm gonna ask you to ask questions before I can get on to the next one.
Okay.
to the next slide of my presentation.
Okay.
Next one. So I did mention that Mining City gives you the opportunity to be an investor, as well as a business owner. So what I'm going to talk about now is the Bitcoin, which is our product.
Mm.
So before I can talk about the Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency. It's like currency you can buy products with it. You can buy food, you can buy a house, you can buy a car. So we can talk about the history of money, like dating back. We were using like a bartering system where we were exchanging goods. If you've got like apples, you could give me oranges, or if you've got vegetables, you could give me a maize meal, or if you've got a cow, you can give me a sheep. So it passed on then, and then they created like gold, but as well, gold was too heavy to carry, and then they started creating coins, and it went on to paper money. And then after paper money, it went on to a card money, which we are using mostly. So apparently money, we don't touch it. So what is Bitcoin is, it's digital currency. It is, you cannot touch it. Some other people, they call it internet money. So the question is, why Bitcoin? Bitcoin, it is, why Bitcoin? Why it was created? If you can remember in 2008, when there was a recession, there was a man who is not known, but there is is known as Satoshi Nakamoto. She created paperwork, and the reason why she created this Bitcoin is because she was tired of double spending. Like for instance, if I have to send money to South Africa, I have to pay my bank for sending the money, and then when I get there, I get charged. So with Bitcoin, when you are sending a Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet, you don't get charged. The only time you get charged is when you're exchanging now from Bitcoin to money. So you don't get charged like for sending from your bank here, and then when it gets to the bank in South Africa, you get charged again. And then on top of that, you're gonna be charged tax and all that. So with Bitcoin, it doesn't happen. And also secondly, the other characteristic of Bitcoin is it is deflationary. So why is it deflationary? Is because in 2008, when it was created, Bitcoin was like worth nothing. So the first transaction, it happens in 2010, where and at that point we saw 10,000 Bitcoins purchasing a pizza, Papa John's pizza. So that amount, those 10,000 Bitcoins, they were worth about $25. And today, with the cost of Bitcoin today, which is about, if I can mention it in dollars or in pounds, is about 7,000 pounds today. So if you can multiply 7,000 by 10,000, so it's cost, those two pizzas today, they are costing millions. So if you think about it, in 2010, $25, you could purchase maybe like the two Papa John's pizzas, and Bitcoin, you have to pay 10,000 Bitcoins in order to purchase those pizzas. But today, with that 10,000 Bitcoins, you could buy a lot. So this is why that Bitcoin, it has value, it appreciates value over time. So there are speculations that Bitcoin will be over $1 million. And we have seen Bitcoin like starting from 2013, it went up to $300. And we saw it in 2015, 2015 going up to $800, and we saw it in 2017 going up to nearly $20,000. It does because like it does go up and down, and as well with anything that is happening in the world, it does go up and down. So, and as well, one of the characteristics of the Bitcoin, it is transparent, and it's fair. It costs less to use it. If I have to send, like for instance, maybe I could send maybe 7,000 to South Africa, I'll have to be charged more. But I could send like maybe $1 million worth of Bitcoins, and I'm not charged. Maybe I could be charged like 10p for sending that to another Bitcoin wallet. So this is why we say it's cost less to use it. So I've explained about the price. So what can you do with the Bitcoin? You can buy stuff. You can actually book. Virgin Atlantic is you can book your ticket, and as well, I think the twins, they have actually bought tickets to go to the space using Bitcoins from from Virgin. So which at that point when they bought it, the Bitcoin was $800 when they bought it. I think it was about 2013 when they did that, or 2015. But they haven't even done that journey yet. But the Bitcoin price has gone up since, and they're actually regretting doing that, because they could see now that the person who accepted Bitcoins has gained so much. So how can you get started? So first of all, you can buy and hold a Bitcoin for a period of time. For instance, someone who bought a Bitcoin in 2010 with maybe with 17 cents. Now, today, even if he had spent like £100 buying those Bitcoins, today she is well off, that person. And number two, you can trade with Bitcoin. Some trading sites, they trade with Bitcoins or with any currencies. And the third one, you can mine the Bitcoins. So what's the difference between mining Bitcoins and trading Bitcoins and buying Bitcoins? So the only difference is when you are on the process of producing new Bitcoins, it's called mining. So which means mining is the process of it's the software that is being used by miners to process new Bitcoins. So this software before, it was just used by normal computers, but with times the software has been updated and has been upgraded, and it's been costly. Like for instance, in 2009, when the Bitcoin white paper came out, it was like a game. Bitcoins were costing nothing, so you were just like using it, you mine it in your normal computers. But as the Bitcoins gain value, the whole industry technology became improved. And as well, one other thing as well that makes Bitcoin expensive is because it uses like electricity. So like mining it as individually, it's an expensive process. So, and as well, mining, it increases the number of Bitcoins. So like, for instance, you can buy maybe Bitcoins worth of maybe $1,000 and keep them. But those Bitcoins will be, if you bought one Bitcoin worth of 7, it will still be one Bitcoin. So when you sell it, you will left with no Bitcoin. But if you could take that 7,000 and invest in a company that mines Bitcoin, or you buy equipment that mines Bitcoin, that 7,000 could double or triple over time, because the mining equipment that mines Bitcoins, it's got a lifespan as well of 3 years, like computers they do. So this is why it's interesting to mine Bitcoins. Also, mining Bitcoins, it provides a business opportunity, and also it supports the blockchain. So now another word comes blockchain. Blockchain is a public ledger which records every transaction of Bitcoin. And as well, one of the things that makes Bitcoin popular is because it is anonymous. You know, all the transactions that are recorded in blockchain. However, it's only recorded as Bitcoin addresses. There are no names behind those addresses. It's like a bank book, like before. So making an example, which I've already done, like maybe let me say you've got 1 Bitcoin and you invested that Bitcoin, or you bought a Bitcoin and you keep it maybe for 3 years, or secondly, you mine Bitcoin. So that one Bitcoin you're holding, it will always remain Bitcoin. But if you decided to take that money that you were going to buy the Bitcoin and invest in a mining company, it could be, for instance, 3 times that over the 3 years. So, which means if the Bitcoin price goes up, let me say it goes up to 20,000 pounds, and you've got 3 Bitcoins, you could sell maybe 1 Bitcoin, and then you'll be left with 2 Bitcoins and keep them, because Bitcoins gains value over time. You could sell your Bitcoins today, and then maybe by tomorrow the Bitcoin price goes up. Like for instance, last week, the Bitcoin price was like about 5,800. So yesterday, it was about 7,000. So your money that is staying in the bank, it can never go up like at that price. So secondly, I've mentioned about the mining city, which I said it is where it's like an investing company, and as well, it is a network marketing company. So in mining city, we invest, and as well you can have a business if you want with them. So for instance, I could call like mining city is like a franchise in a box. You know, with franchises, like if I had to buy a franchise with McDonald's, I have to pay something like 300,000 pounds to actually buy a franchise from McDonald's. And then as well, I have to pay a fee every month or every year. So that, and then I have to make sure that I keep the standards as well. But with mining city, as soon as you, oh, hello, got a new lady coming. Hello, welcome to mining city presentation. So we have just talked about the Bitcoin and how you can how you can make money with Bitcoin and mining city. So mining city is like a franchise in a box. So it's a wealth building company for digital currency market. Mining city is one of the largest verifiable companies that mines Bitcoins, and also is also verifiable on blockchain. So on blockchain, in order for a company to be able to say that it mines Bitcoin, it has to be recorded on blockchain. However, with mining city is got a contract with btc.com. Also, they've got a partnership with Minebest. Minebest, if you can write down, Minebest is a company that provides all the software and the computer software for mining city. So also, mining city has grown over in 50 countries. So where is this company situated? So the mining city has got mining farms in Kazakhstan, and also there are some farms in China. So it's been around since 2018. However, the reason why it's in Kazakhstan is because the electricity is cheaper in Kazakhstan. As I mentioned earlier, that Bitcoin mining is costly in terms of electricity, because you need your computers to be on 24/7. The process of mining, it has to go. You cannot switch off the computers. So last year, when I started with this company, it was around July. So they are still busy building the infrastructure. Some of the members of our network team have been to the place and saw the place and verified the place and saw what was happening. I still got time, 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go on like for the next 2 minutes so that I can allow time to ask questions. However, because of the time, I'm not gonna go on and say like up to the end. So anyone who's got questions and I'm not able to answer through this presentation can be able to contact me privately. So now, how to be an investor in Mining City. So to be an investor in Mining City, there is about 4 plans that you can buy. For the sake of this presentation, I will use dollars. And the first plan will be $500, and the second plan will be $1,000, and the third plan will be $2,000. Or you can buy all 3 plans for $3,500, which is like a gold plan. So now, I did mention that I was going to talk about the Bitcoin, and we've got a new currency, which is like Bitcoin as well. This one is just been listed on the market in December. When it was listed on the market and we started investing, we didn't know how much, but when it came to the market, the Bitcoin Vault, it was $1. So the question is, you're going to ask, what is Bitcoin Vault? Bitcoin Vault, I would say in my own words, is like Bitcoin in 2008. In 2009, because Bitcoin in 2009, it was worth nothing. So came around Bitcoin Vault in 2019, worth nothing, listed in the market, and only one exchange listed Bitcoin Vault at $1. And then we saw it in January going to $3. And I would say before this recession, before this lockdown, the Bitcoin Vault was about $15. And only yesterday it was $74. Today it was a whopping $107, which is quite interesting. And one of the interesting thing is there are people who invested with Bitcoin Vault at $1. So those people, they've collected, because like I would say, like they mined, because they have invested in Mining City at $1, and they kept on, like for instance, let me say with the $500, you could invest in Mining City. You could get 2 Bitcoin Vault a month, let me say, and your contract will last for 3 years. So let me say you started in January when it was like $1, and you accumulated those Bitcoins up until now. So there are people who invested like lots and lots of money in Mining City, and today, through only Bitcoin Vault, they have made some good money, which I will not say, but some good money that they have made. So, which means investing in cryptocurrency, it is a good thing, like in long term. However, we didn't know that Bitcoin Vault will come into the market and go up in price. So there is a price margin that when they were creating this coin, they've put up, because firstly, it's got the same characteristics as Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoins that could ever be mined. And then Bitcoin Vault as well, there's only like 21 million Bitcoins that could be mined, which is the reason why the Bitcoin goes up in price, whereas the money, it loses value, because once we don't have enough money, we can go and print, and the more we print, there is no value because there's lots of it. So the other thing with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is because it's scarce, and with the protocol, they cannot go over it.
I will send it to Mr. Agba tomorrow.
So
I've muted her.
that is our Bitcoin and Bitcoin Vault. So Bitcoin Vault is only 21 coins, and also there's equal distribution, which means like the Bitcoin, there was not many people, they didn't know about the Bitcoin before. So only like certain people, they own loads of Bitcoins. And then I think it's only like maybe about less than 1%. But other Bitcoins, they might be owned like by one person. But with Bitcoin Vault now, we've got a chance as well to mine a few, to own a few Bitcoins, because Bitcoin Vault, because it's just came into the market. And one interesting thing is it's new in the market. Not everyone knows, like people who've got money, because people who've got money, they might just come around and buy. There was some speculation at some point that China will buy all the Bitcoins, but once you've got a Bitcoin, you want to hold on to it a little bit if you know what the Bitcoin is done. I think I am running out of time. I will end it there. Thank you, Mrs. Bumney, for having me today. I would ask if there's anyone with questions.
Okay. Thank you very much for presenting that about Bitcoin. Anyone has got questions? Has anyone got questions? Seems not at the moment. So do you want to give people your, well, I think with the poster, your number there? No.
Yeah, my number is there. And as well, you can go onto Mining City on Facebook and on Instagram and actually follow their work. It is a reputable company. And we understand with what has happened around the Bitcoin, people, they don't trust. If you talk about the Bitcoin, is actually something that is kind of like scam. However, with me, I've been following Bitcoin like since 2017, where I was introduced into Bitcoin at 100. At that time, it was about 1,000 pounds. Beginning of middle of 2017, and I saw it going all the way to 17,000 pounds. And at that time, and I just thought I can never get involved. Then when I found there was a mining company where you can actually pay a small fee and start accumulating Bitcoins, and I was really pleased, because it was actually, because I saw, I had actually 1,000 pounds, but because I didn't know anything, so I didn't buy it, and I didn't even know how to buy it. So if anyone here knows how to buy Bitcoin, it's not something that you can just go to the shop and buy it. You really needed maybe someone to go through. So one of the things that we do, apart like from that I'm distributing, so well, first thing we'll have to make sure that you know about the Bitcoin, you know how to buy it, and then if you wanted to get involved and buy a plan in Mining City, you can. But if you decide you wanted to go and buy and hold the Bitcoin as well, but the very important thing is to make sure that everyone knows about the Bitcoin and the opportunity that you can have. It can actually change your life because it has changed other people's life. And
thank you very much. Thank you, Nonsiba Babu. You've done so well. Thank you for your time. Thank you for presenting. And if you need any more information, please check the poster. Her number is there. You can give her a ring to know more. She's ready to, listen and to help you out. Thank you very much. Next week, we're going to be having Mrs. Akinlosotu. She's going to be sending the topic. I'm going to be making a poster for next week anyway. So we have someone who will be presenting to us, and let's stay tuned. Have a good night, everyone. Any questions, please see Nonsiba Babu, and she'll give you more insight. Thank you very much. Have a good night. God bless you.
Okay. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.